Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Scotty Restores Kicks, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to negotiate some sneaker deals. So, you're not going to want to miss it. Check it out.
All I see is icy, icy. All I see is icy, icy. Scotty Restoring Kicks, and all I see is icy, icy. Whoa.
Alright, guys. Now, I'm going to give you the best tips on negotiating to get the best prices when you're doing local meetups, okay? And it comes down to 4 things, okay? So, the first thing, buy in bulk, okay? We're going to go into all of these later, but for number 1, buy in bulk. The second thing, compare the prices to eBay prices, okay? Check out the comparison. We'll talk more about that in a minute too. The third thing is to have cash in hand and tell them you can pay direct cash to them. And the last thing, number 4, is meeting up ASAP. If you can meet up that same day and show that you can meet up that same day, that's a huge way to get your prices even lower. All right, so now let's dive into each one. So the first one, buying in bulk, okay? The reason you want to buy in bulk is you can start getting your prices lower because you're buying more of their products, okay? So if someone's selling, 2 pairs of shoes and, they wanted $150 for each, so $300, right? You can say, hey, I'll give you $250 for both of them. Because in their head, they're like, okay, I'm getting rid of them right away. Okay, I don't have to wait and sell one at a time, especially sometimes they've been sitting on those shoes and they're trying to get rid of them. So if you can say, hey, I'll buy both of them for $250, so it's $50 less, but they're getting the $250 right away and they don't have to wait, another week, 2 weeks, a month to sell that other pair of shoes. So buying in bulk is huge. Obviously, if you get more in bulk, if you get like 3, 4, 5 pairs of shoes, you can knock that price even lower and save, probably like $50 on each shoe, maybe even more. So buying in bulk is definitely number 1 on the list. Make sure you buy in bulk and ask the kids. So let's say I'm on one of those garage sale pages or something like that, and it says, I have whatever, a pair of Toro 4s for sale. Ask the kids, say, hey, do you have any other Jordans you're selling, or Yeezys or whatever? Do you have any other shoes you're selling? Check them out and then say, hey, you know what? Let's do a bulk. I'll buy, these 3 pair of shoes and let's do it for whatever. Okay. Now the second thing, okay, comparing with eBay prices. Now when I'm saying comparing, I don't mean literally like exactly what they're selling for. If it's selling for $150 and they're selling the shoe for $150, doesn't mean you gotta buy it for $150. What I'm saying is it's a little bit of a trick to kind of play on the person you're buying off of. Okay. For instance, a pair of shoes, right? They might be going for $130, but you might have saw 2 pairs of shoes that people sold for lower. They sold for $80. And so you go to that person that you're buying off of and you say, hey, man, I can't pay that much. I saw them going for $80. I saw the shoes going for $80 on eBay or whatever. And then if they want to do the research, then you can even pull up those 2 shoes that were selling for that low. But that's probably not going to happen. But you can just say, hey man, they ain't worth that much. They're only going for like 80. They're not really worth that much. That's what I do, and then it'll drop them down a little bit. Now again, you got to keep going back and forth. So like, don't settle at a certain price. So like, for instance, you might say that, and they'll be like, all right, well, I'll take 100 off. So instead of 150, I'll do 140 or 130, and then be like, nah, I can't do that. You also have to have a range of where you're trying to go. So like if you're trying to make profit, right? Like let's say I can sell the shoes for that 150, 160, and I want to make at least, $30 profit, right? So that means I got to buy it for around $100, $110. That's if you're shipping it out and you got to do shipping fees and all that. So I got to get around $100 if I want to make like $30, $40 profit. So how can I get it from 150 to 100? So don't right off the bat say, hey, I'll give you 100 for it. Because now you just gave them like the advantage over your negotiating. Because if they want 150, you say 100, they're not going to just say, yeah, let's do 100. They're going to say, nah, I can do 140. And then you're going to say, I'll do 110. And you're going to keep going until you meet in the middle majority of the time. That's how it works. So I know it's hard to lowball people and people don't like it, but you kind of got to lowball people to a certain extent. So like if you're trying to get for 100, I would say offer 80. Okay, and then they'll say like 140, 130, whatever, and then be like 90. And then they'll say another one and be like, hey man, Like 100 is the best I can do. Can't go more than that. And then they might be like, all right, 110. And it's a little bit over where you wanted, but you're still making a good enough profit where you're like, I can take that $10. It's fine. And so then you'd be like, all right, yeah, we'll do the 110. So again, it's that negotiating back and forth. And again, usually at worst, you're trying to get to meet in the middle at some point. So you kind of got to lowball a little bit, but not extreme. So you can't be like, they want $250 and the shoe's probably worth whatever, 220 or 200, and you're like, I'll give you $80. Like, they're just gonna ghost you. They're not gonna talk to you. You have to have a reasonable area to work with. But that's with comparing the shoes. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3, having cash in hand. Okay, yes, I know sometimes it's hard to have cash in hand. Nowadays, everything's Venmo, Cash App, whatever. But have cash in hand. A lot of people like that because they have access to it right away. And they know you're not scamming, you're legit. So if you can get to an ATM or whatever, pull out some money, pay direct cash right to them. I've noticed that helps a lot. Even that goes besides just shoes, buying other things. For me, I bought a Vertimax thing for my training business, and the guy wanted $1,500, and I said, hey, I'll give you $1,000 cash. And he took it up like that. So I got $500 off of it just for saying I'm going to pay cash. So that's the same with shoes though. Pay cash. A lot of people like cash because they know it's legit. You don't got to worry about fraud as much and being scammed. So cash, okay? And the last thing is meeting up as soon as you can, okay? You got to meet up as soon as you can. If you can do the same day, like, again, people selling it, they want their money. So if they can get it the same day, they're going to get it the same day. Because obviously they're selling it for a reason. They need to make money somehow, right? Or they want money. So meet up the same day or at least the next day. It also shows like you're serious, and it lets other people, or it lets them know that they don't have to wait for someone else. Like, they're ready to go. But if you can get same day, you can get that price down. Because like I've done that a lot. For instance, the other day, right? And this is where the negotiating comes in. The other day I bought 2 pairs of shoes. I ended up making like $70-$80 profit off of them for both of them. So like $40 a shoe. I got a pair of infrared 6s that you saw that I iced up, and the maroon 6s. I got both of those for $190, I think. Yeah, I think I paid $190 for both of those. Great condition. And yeah, I ended up making like $80 profit. But he wanted $130, I think, or $140, something like that. $140 for the infrareds. No, sorry, $150 for the infrareds, and he wanted like $130 for the maroon 6s. So right there, that's $270. So how did I get him from $270 to $190? All right, now I'm gonna walk you through it. Okay, infrared 6s, they're definitely worth more than those maroon 6s. Now the bottoms were all, yellowed and all that, which is what brought the price down. He had no box either. That's another thing you can negotiate with, is if they don't have a box. He didn't have a box for either one, so that's another thing. Takes the price down. So what I did is, I said, hey, how much for both pairs of shoes? Now I was ready to negotiate. I wanted to get them for $200 to $210, maybe $220, but not lower than $220 for both pairs of shoes. That would make it, $110 a piece, which I was okay with. So I messaged him, and before I even got to a price, the guy said he had someone already going to be buying them for $210, and I was like, okay, that's perfect. That's right in the ballpark of what I wanted to pay. So I went to him and I said, hey, I'll give you the $210 and I'll meet today. And the man said, hey, he's already meeting with me today, but I'll let you know if he doesn't go. I already knew, because this is usually how it goes. A lot of people flaze out and they don't show up. So that's when I was like, okay, I can use this to my advantage. I either can get a chance at it or take the L. We'll see. So I figured, he wasn't going to end up buying it, that guy. So I got a message later that night, and the kid goes, yeah, so the guy didn't end up buying it, so do you still want him? This is where you can negotiate and get your price lower. And he's like, do you want it for $210 still? And I said, nah, man, I'm good. I was like, I told you I was going to meet up, but obviously you thought, this dude was going to make it. But hey, I was legit, and I was going to meet up today cash. And he was like, okay, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, well, I'll tell you what. I was like, since I told you I would have got it today or whatever, I'll give you $190. I'll give you 190 cash and we can meet up today, and it can be done. And he was like, I can't do 190. And I was like, and literally, you gotta play this sometimes. Again, it's a hit or miss. It's not gonna work every time. So don't think every time you do this is gonna work, because it doesn't. But this happened to work for me. And I said, hey, no problem. You know what? If you want to sell me them for 190, let me know, because I'm gonna get them. I'll get them as soon as you want. Again, like not even an hour later, he messages me and says, hey, I'm off work tomorrow. I can do 190 if you want to meet up. Boom, right like that, I'm in there. So what I do, I go meet up, get them for 190. Iced up the shoes, took me a day. Sold the infrareds for 190. Okay, I sold the infrareds for 190. So already I made my money back, and the Maroon 6s was my profit, which I ended up selling for like $80 after shipping and all that. So I ended up making like $80 profit off those shoes. So that was a good deal for me. Again, it's just negotiating. It's almost like a game. You're really playing a game, but you got to test out things. And certain people aren't going to budge, so you kind of got to understand who you're dealing with, making sure they're legit, and making sure you're not crossing the line too. Because some people hate when you lowball them, so you got to kind of be aware of that stuff. But use different things to your advantage. Use they don't have a box. Use hey, the bottoms are really yellow. I see a couple scuffs on there, creasing. Like, point out those things and show them that it's not worth what they're wanting it to be. It's not worth that because of these flaws. And then even say on eBay with that same condition, I can get it for $80. So why wouldn't I just get it there? Because then they're gonna be like, okay, I kind of need the money. I want them to buy it from me. So I'll bring my price down a little bit. And that's how you can negotiate. So I hope that answered your question of negotiating, and I hope you guys can apply this when you're negotiating local meetups. Stay safe out there. The sneaker game sometimes can get a little crazy. So stay smart, negotiate, and go get your shoes, guys. So those are all my tips for negotiating shoes. I hope it helped. I hope you guys liked the video. If you have any questions or video suggestions, please put in the comments down below. Also, if you like this video, don't forget to smash the like button. And lastly, if you enjoy this channel and you want to see more videos like this, all you gotta do is subscribe to the channel and hit the push notification button so you never miss an upcoming video. So Scotty Restores Kicks, and do you want to be icy? Well, it starts in the soul. I'm gonna see you next time.